I don't mean no disrespect, but no way. I can't listen to you, I do this my own way. This is not the game, no, I don't.
That's that chronic elf right there, man. That's my guy, Chronic Elf, man. He'll get you what you need, man, and need what you get, man. Yeah, y'all.
I said, man, come to Kush Smart, man. We're gonna give you some great stuff, man. Some good smoke, man. Some good Christmas trees, man. Stocking stuff is up the wazoo, man. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year.
Don't ask me for this, don't ask me for that. Let's ice in the safe, get iced if you chat.
What it do, man? It's your boy T. Simmons, and this is Stems TV, and we're back with SuitMan in the building over here at Cushmart South. Having a great time, man. Having some real good conversation, man. And I have a few questions as far as the cannabis industry, man, because I done seen, because that's where I met you really on the cannabis circuit, man, at a couple of these big cannabis events, man. I know it's great product, but what got you linked in with that?
I used to work for a grow-op. I think I can give him some love because that's what we do.
Come on, dude.
So Top Cut out of Tacoma.
Oh yeah, I fuck with it.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah, talk.
And then my buddy Straight Drops, right? Josh Straight Drops, right? The strongest cannabis syrup out. You know what I mean? That syrup, 1,000 milligrams and 4 ounces. It's got 250 milligrams an ounce. The legal version's coming up, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It is the real deal. And so I met.
Let me take these off, man. This nigga done talked about
you
my
ain't playing football no more.
No
He
more
ain't lining
football.
up a D-line. No.
My bad. Go ahead. My bad, bro. But those things,
He was just feeling bit. My mama gave me these gloves. My mother-in-law gave these to me. That's the only nice thing that bitch has ever done for me.
Do it.
There's a lot of truth in that. So
come on, man.
I remember I was doing this cannabis event where they were cooking dinner with cannabis, right? And they were cooking with cannabis. And, I was like, hey, I want to get on. I figured I'd get paid. I didn't. But I got to eat the food, which they were charging like $200 for. And then I sold some shirts because, I had some shirts at the time, so I made some money. And then my buddy Josh was there with his syrup. And I had a little bit of that, right?
Yeah.
And then he had a little bit of Dro.
Yeah.
And I'm the guy. Like, I be having Dro. Like, I be like at these events, I don't bring them in because I'm working. And my job that's how I get my payment. I'm not really getting paid at most of these events. So I need to get some free.
Oh, you always smoke something. You always smoking good.
Some free grab bag or something because I drove an hour and a half. I didn't get shit. So if I'm not getting paid and I'm getting dressed up, like I'm a pretty girl. I got all ready for this date. Nigga, you better buy some lobster shit.
True that.
Right? So
true that.
With that in mind, I met Josh and we started blowing, and then I took him to the Boise Comedy Festival. And he got to roll with me out there. We let people try the syrup, and I had to grow. We did the comedy festival. I had a fucking blast. And then I ended up moving and wanted a better job. Not so much a better job, but just something I could do. And I was trimming for Top Cut for like 6 or 7 months.
Nah. But you always got to start somewhere. In this cannabis industry, I tell anybody, man, get to a position, work that position, and work your way up. You know what I'm saying?
And not only that, but like when you trim, there's obviously perks. You get to keep
big work.
You get to keep a lot of weed.
Yeah.
You get to take home a lot of weed. But and you can try to sell it. But I mean, it is what it is. But when you ain't paying for weed,
you saving money. Yeah.
And you got good weed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you work at a grow up, you're not gonna have crap. Like there's crap grow ups, but if you work somewhere where the weed's not good, that's your fault.
That's your fault. Because there's too many great grow-ups out here, and these guys is out here putting in work.
Right.
So you don't have to mess with no garbage.
And then the other part of it is like, there's different facets. My thing is I've got not internet degrees. I've got web database skills. I've got IT degrees, so I know how to build a website, market a website, make it work, make it functional, help with a menu, build you an app. I can do all those different things. So just because you get into that weed store as a trimmer, if you've got other skills and the boss has got the money to invest, now you can say, hey man, I'm going to trim for 3 hours a day. Then I'm going to spend these other 5 hours on the computer doing our social media shit.
Exactly.
And I'm going to share Stems TV, and we're going to give them a quarter every week. Why are we doing that? Because they're showing the Top Cut brand every week. And his 17 or 18 followers, even if that's it, they know who Top Cut is, right? And there's ways you can market. Then you've got these other events. Then you can start hosting events yourself, right? Like there's so many different ways to be a businessman and be valuable within this industry. Exactly. And not only that, it's now legal. At some point, we're going to have weed cafes. Yeah. At some point, you're going to have to be able to go somewhere, buy a drink, and smoke your joint inside. That's got to.
And that's what it's all about. By getting it, it's because it's not just the trimming and the shops. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to be into this industry, you can start as a bud tender.
That's where we're starting. Yeah. The long-term goal of business would be having your lounge.
Yeah.
Being able to have a club where you smoke weed. Yeah. Maybe have a premier club. What if I just had hash and hose as a club, and we don't sell alcohol? Why would you be mad at a club that didn't sell alcohol? Guess how many DUIs you're probably not going to get. Because I don't care how stoned you are, you shouldn't be getting a DUI. Nobody's pulled over and crashing or beating their girlfriend because they've had too many dabs. And those people, if they do get that too dab, they're just going to Uber anyway. So who cares? But think about how many fights and brawls break out because of weed.
No.
Like, think about if I ran a club, and I want to challenge everybody to think about this, and really think about it. If we had a dance club that did not sell alcohol, but only sold weed, and all you could do was smoke weed inside, you couldn't drink alcohol in there.
But we know what that'd be like, though.
Again, but let me finish the argument, motherfucker. Shit. God damn it, you get the cart from the horse. And we took the same club across the street, right? And we did partying, and we only sold alcohol.
Yeah.
Right? How many more fights and issues will we have out of those 100 people a month than we would out of the 100 from the week? So why don't we have a weed lounge? Why can't we have a weed club? I mean, I even got a customer looking over. He's like, "Nigga, that's a good idea." I mean, he didn't say nigga. His eyes said nigga, but he didn't say it.
Nah. We having a great time. He know better. He know better.
He's like, that guy over there got a point. That does make sense.
Because that make 100% sense, bro. Because we all know as dro smokers and anybody out there that smoke cannabis know that you don't do nothing but relax, heal, and real talk. All I do is relax and I just heal and I don't do nothing when I'm smoking.
The sign to the right says the best. 9 out of 10 Washingtonians don't drive while high and drunk.
Exactly.
That means what's stopping them from driving is the getting high part. Because on the bottom it says, "Let's all talk to that one friend." What we're saying here is the right. That's a hell of a sign. That's great marketing. Let's all talk to that one guy. But even in that marketing campaign, what are we saying here? The use of marijuana is actually making people more responsible. Because 9 out of 10 people who get drunk are not irresponsible. Right. If you took the people that are just getting drunk who don't smoke weed, I'd say at least 3 to 5 of them motherfuckers are driving.
Yeah.
So if you want to say 9 out of 10, we done cut 9. That's 1 to 3 to 5. That's at least a 66 to an 80% difference in people driving under the influence of alcohol. If you add weed.
Real shit.
And then if we talk about the impairment of their driving based on the use of weed, there's no comparison to what it is on alcohol, right?
Nah.
So to me, it's funny to see how condemned, like weed is, like how it's changing in a lot of ways.
It's changing big time, though.
But like our grandpa's generation, they're like, fuck you. Right? Like, cannabis, you're smoking that devil's lettuce?
Yeah, it always had that stigma, though, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just I don't really understand it. Never had.
It's the propaganda that like white women would smoke cannabis and then want to sleep with colored
and that was
the one thing.
Was that
like,
it? Yeah.
The Karen's just getting high, and once she gets high, she's like, "Ooh, look at Jerome." Every time I smoke this joint, Mr. Simmons gets a little sexy.
Yeah. and that would be, I would think that was the problem, though. a woman can cause a lot of problems.
Oh,
A woman
no way.
can cause a lot of problems, bro. So when she's smoking that dro and looking at that forbidden fruit, that became the devil's drug.
That's when it became the devil's lettuce.
Okay. So man, I'm having a good time though, man. Real talk, man. I ain't write out no questions for you, bro.
Oh, you
I
didn't
know,
have to do that.
nah,
We
because I
didn't
know
do
you
no
bring it to the
questions. We
table,
gonna
bro.
talk.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, you know, even the use of other drugs, right? Like they say it's a gateway drug. I ain't never seen nobody smoke a joint and they be like, "Hey man, you want to do some meth too?"
Nah. It don't do that, man. I think those was those old myths that people was putting out to scare
I mean,
people away from it.
what's the real gateway drug? The real gateway drug is cigarettes and alcohol.
Yeah, and I would, and you know,
You try cigarettes and alcohol, and you're like, "Oh, these aren't half that bad." And then you want to try something else. You try a cigarette, you're like, "This don't even get me high." So he's like, "Well, if you smoke this, it'll get you high. If you smoke this, yeah, fuck this cigarettes."
then don't put no alcohol on top of it, bro. You put that alcohol on
But
top
none
of
of us won't drink if we won't drive if we do that.
it.
9 out of 10 of us won't drive if we add alcohol to the mix,
Yeah,
right? But
for real.
and then I think it's cool now that it's almost okay. Like, so my grandfather, he's 92, right? And I've smoked my whole life, so I remember like I used to pick him up, take him to games. He's blind, you know what I mean? He's legally blind, so I always picked him up, always drove him around. But I'd pick him up and I'd be smoking in the car, and he'd be like, "You know, I don't like to get high. I like the smell of it."
Yeah, that's part of the high though.
And he'd be
That's
like,
part of the high though.
and he'd be grinning, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, you know, some people now, you know, they won't smoke weed, but they'll eat an edible, right? They'll do a dab, right? But they don't want to smoke flower. And I think the industry has changed so much
Big time.
to tinctures and edibles and vape and dabs.
They got drinks over here.
Yeah,
Man.
the drinks are like, those
Really
are the
often.
one, like, I don't really get messed up no more. Like, my buddy's stuff really gave me tolerance, straight up, right?
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, edibles are the way to go.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, you know, doing a it's kind of like a casino. Like, you might
rolling the dice.
Yeah,
you rolling the dice.
It's like, but it's not a regular dice either. It's like a magic dice. You know, 1 through 25, and then you roll a second dice with a multiplier that might kick in 2 hours later, right?
Fuck yeah, because I done had one of even though they got it regulated as best they can, you still get a bag of some of this edibles and especially these drinks, man. Some of these drinks, man, will hit you in about 20, 30 minutes and have you really lazy.
Well, you know what it
or
is.
feeling really good.
Is you know, and if you're in the industry, you know this, and I'm going to spill some beans. Let's talk some industry shit. We're on stems, right?
Come on.
So when you're in the industry, no matter what product you have, but I'm talking to you that aren't in the industry, it gets tested. So whether that's your dabs, your drinks, whatever it is, right? Now you may make one bottle out of that batch and make sure that it hits a certain level.
Yeah.
And you give them that bottle. And then you finish the rest of your bottles. But that first bottle, you make sure it hit all your marks.
Made sure it was what it needed to be.
Now, the rest of the bottles may be a little bit stronger. They may be a little weaker.
Yeah. It all depends on the people who making them.
But that one that they sent off as a sample that got you the label,
that's the one going to pass all the time. They say that's the one that's been.
So with that being said, a lot of your product you buy is going to have a label, and it may meet that standard, and it may exceed that standard. And unfortunately, it may not even come close to that standard.
Yeah.
Because a lot of places, they got to go get the best bud.
Yeah.
Like, they're not all good looking. Like, I remember, you know, as a trimmer, you got your top nuts. Don't get me wrong, your top nuts are your best nuts. But if you're a real trimmer, you know, you'd have trimmed like 17 pounds and shit. There's like 100 top nuts. I mean, top nuts. Yeah. It's all weed, right?
It's all weed.
But when it comes to this dab, kind of the same thing. But when it comes to oil and extract, when you get into the bigger batches and putting it together, how are you telling me that all 7 strains are 92% and they all got the same number?
Nah, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, It's. I think they get as close as they can. You know what I'm saying? And right now they're doing a pretty good job, but it's not always.
It's not a complaint.
No. You just telling facts.
It's just kind of like, you know, it's just like when you go buy your liquor. right? You know, it's 70 proof, but some 70 proof stuff don't get you as drunk as some other 70
Yeah,
proof stuff,
nah.
right?
And they doing the same thing. They taking in when it's time to go do
It's
that
still
test.
vodka.
Yeah, but it ain't that one that they took in for that test.
Right, right.
It might be, but it might not be.
Right. And
So
so
nah.
it's the same thing here, except for I think in the weed industry, it's a little more favors on the heavier side. Where when you get into the edibles and some of the stuff, it's usually going to be stronger and exceed your expectations. Especially when you start getting them from your friends.
Oh yeah, that's when you get the best though, don't you think though? Because your personal friends can doctor it up the way they want to, as far as dose it as high or low as they want to. Here, like I say, like the legal realm is, I think they
10
keep
milligrams.
10 milligrams
Yeah, 10
a dose, right?
milligrams a dosage, no more than 100 milligrams in a packaging. Right.
Man, I remember like back in about what 10, 15, about when we got legal 2012. So what that'll be? That'll be 10 years ago, about 10, 15, about 12 years ago. You getting those 400 milligram doses, those 500 milligram doses.
Every pill. And
Come on, what?
and all the pills, all the edibles were like a half a gram each. You know, 500 milligrams. A half a gram of THC, right? And you know, you think about that. Like my buddy Serb is a gram. It's a gram of THC per 4 ounces, right?
Yeah.
And that is ridiculous. You know, we we always ought to do an ounce. You know, kind of like it's like it's weed, right? In a sense, right? They talk about ones and twos and fours, right? But yeah, you drink 4 ounces of that shit, you're done.
You're done.
I drink, I can fuck around and drink 2 or 3 ounces, maybe a bottle in a day. I got a tolerance, you're done.
But you're still gonna feel really, really good.
We think about those edibles we used to eat when we were kids. Man. Like we'd eat them, like you said, an hour later, you just be sitting there just stuck on stupid. So I don't know if that's a good thing. I think
no, it's not.
It is for us because we're older, we're
and the tolerance.
We need it. We got the tolerance, but like for these guys, I don't know if they want a 500 milligram edible. They're like, nope, we got kids to watch, presents to wrap and shit. It's the holidays. They're like, fuck that. No, I got something to do, right?
But those was the doses that got people. When you hear those stories on how people are, man, I had a bad high, or I'm afraid of edibles. That's when people was making them 1,000 milligrams.
That's when, nobody, and it wasn't even really they told you. It was like, nigga, watch out.
Yeah, that's it. It gave you a good looking cookie.
Hey,
a nice brownie or something.
What was it? Callie used to always come up to High Times and always have the candies, chronic candies, remember?
Yeah.
And I would literally spend $100 every time they came just on the candies. Because they tasted good, right? Yeah. Like they tasted good. Remember that little gummies and suckers and all that?
But they was knockers though.
Oh, but they were so goddamn good, right? And then about, because you'd make it till about 4:20. And then about 5:15, nigga. Yeah. Yeah, overdose off of good candy. Overdose off of good candy and good speed food, right? Carton food, right?
Man, those was the days, though, bro.
Those were the days.
Those was, though.
But now it's the new shit. Like, for me, we only got a couple minutes before we go do the segment. But, for me, the new shit is bad. Like, I was not, like, when the dab first came out, you had to use the fucking torch. It was like, man, the white side of me was like, yeah! The black side was like, that's
way too much work. Yeah, that's the dope thing, bro. It's too much work. It was too much work.
Right.
It was too much work.
And then, even at my first event, I got a ton of dab stuff. I really didn't care because I wasn't, you know what I mean? And then at my second dab event, I got a free dab now. An email.
Change your life.
Woo! Motherfucker, hey, Jack! Something like that. That's like having a hey, I want to get high button. That's literally what it is. I want to get high. You hit that button in about 5, not even like less than a minute. It heats up to the temperature you need. You drop a little bit in, you hit it, and it stays hot. And as long as you're safe with it, and don't tip it over, let it hit anything, you keep it on flat surface. You literally just leave it there hot for the 5-10 minutes, take a couple dabs, turn it off.
Turn it off. But that was the game changer right there.
That for me, that's
me too, though. Me too.
Mind blown, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I still got my flower. I love my flower. I don't like dabbing and rolling and dabbing, and I don't like doing having the little pins and dabbing it.
Nah.
Or the little, the one you heat up and then you put it in. No, I don't want to. I don't need to be dabbing in my car. I can smoke flower, right? I got vape pens for that, right?
All of that, yeah.
Man, that e-nail.
Is it? Yeah, that's the
I
real
felt
deal.
like, hey, this shit right here, nigga. Can't wait, this shit right here, nigga.
This is that shit right here.
And then the one I got, you can control the temperature. I found I like 700 degrees. My friend wanted 550. I'm now at 6. At 6, it kind of burns and keeps it in there. At 7, it burns complete. You have different flavor. You know, some of this shit's liquid, some of this shit's crystals. Like it's all man.
Yeah.
And then I don't buy $3 dab.
Nah.
I tried that. I felt like I was smoking Thunderbird.
yeah, with some Kool-Aid in it. Nigga said with some Kool-Aid. he said like he was smoking
Hey, $3 Thunderbird is like drinking Carlos Rossi. Why are you doing that? We are adults.
Nah,
I got a real job.
Nah, because especially when you done tasted
$85 dabs.
Yeah.
That's $75 shit over there.
It's a big difference, man. It's a big difference, man.
I think about even at the $75 rate. Most of that show, I don't know if you should be paying that much.
Because some of the companies that I done taste companies and spent that kind of that stuff that cost that much, right? And it wasn't all that. It really was.
I think if you get to the $15 to $20 gram range, and you look at the right product and the color, you'll be fine.
Yeah, because I'm gonna give them a shout out. What was it? It's a company called Slab Mechanics, bro.
Yes.
They was at that little event.
Yes,
I
got some of Slab Mechanics, and they were tasty. They smelled good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Top Shelf as well. He gave me a deal on one.
Yeah.
And he was saying it only charged. He gave it to me on a super deal. I'm not gonna lie to you, but he said it's like $48 or something.
Yeah, and
that'd be like the upper limit for me. I mean, the stuff that I see in here, $75 a gram.
And that Top Shelf joint is because these guys got it right here, and it's fire, and it's tasty.
And who was the other guy? The Flame Bros. What was it? The guy in the middle. He had the drill. He had all the concentrate.
Flame.
I could probably look it up.
I
got a picture of it in my phone. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But there was a couple of different people that night that.
And their price points is just
different,
reasonable. You know what I'm saying?
Like I got a lot of products the first show, and to see that they're selling it for $75, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. And there's some that I done had that was at that price point that was fire. You know,
don't get me wrong, it's fire, but.
Don't get me wrong. You're right. You're right.
It's fire. I'm not going to say it's not. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying I can't endorse somebody spending $80 of their hard-earned money for a gram of fucking damn. Nigga.
Yeah, that's kind of high.
And when you and I guess I'm in the industry. I know what it's made out of. You're not using the top piece of flour to make that. You're using the trim.
You might do a nug run if you do a nug run, right?
If you stupid, if shit ain't going well, right, you might do a nug run.
Yeah.
But, this was Kindness Family Farm.
Yeah, that's them. Yeah.
Oh my God. Kindness Family Farm has some fire. And then Mad Mark. That was the other guy I met. After you guys all left, I met another guy with Mad Mark. He's got a green yuck face upside down. My God.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Kindness. You gotta get Kindness a shout. I tasted their shit, and that shit was fucking.
Shout out to Kindness, man. I chopped it up with them, man. They supposed to be coming to the black table, man. And so we're gonna chop it up, man.
Yeah.
Bring them
And
to the table,
I talked to Mad Mark. I got things going on, so it's hard for me to do this on my page, give the shout outs, and smoke the weed.
Nah, we all is one right here, though, man.
We here,
man.
those two brands, Mad Mark, Kindness,
easy, bro.
So they really showed
big love, bro.
You know what I mean? And not just love, but their product was phenomenal.
Oh man,
But I don't like just throw that out there when I say phenomenal. Usually, I'm a hard guy to sell, and I'm a hard guy to satisfy. And then there were two others that were there. Paris was there; they did all right.
Yeah,
right.
Shout out to Paris, man. Okay.
And then Fleek Leaf had some shit that was fire too.
Yeah. But I'm on that Paris though, man. They gave me some shit, man.
Yeah, it smelled delicious.
King Arthur was there. Some dude named King Arthur, cool ass dude.
Don't forget Slurped.
Yeah.
Flirts with the tincture.
With that tinctures, yeah, man.
It was all right. I mean, I don't know if it was like straight drops, but it was all right.
It was actually, I liked it, man. I liked it, man.
Yeah, we all have our different flavors. For me, it was kind of runny and thin, right?
Yeah.
I like the thickness of the straight drops. You know what I mean? It's just different.
Yeah. See, me, I'm not really a super tincture dude, so it tasted. I tasted it raw out the bottle. So yeah,
You saw me shake my head.
yeah, it had a. Yeah, I know I was supposed to go ahead and put it in something to drink, but I just wanted to see what the product tasted like without having no interruptions and shit.
That's
And
what I was saying.
it was pretty good though.
Top Shelf, Mad Mark, and what did we just say?
Paris.
No, but I mean
Slurp.
flower wise, the we were just saying their name. Hold on, Kindness.
Yeah.
Kindness, Mad Mark, and Top Shelf. Their flower.
Off the chain. Oh yeah. Nah, yeah.
And then Paris, and Paris is extractless.
Woo. Off the chain.
Same with Top Shelf's extractless.
Yeah. 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 Hey man, but be honest though, man, there was a lot of good bud there.
There was really no bad bud. Don't get me wrong.
No. But there's some specific
These
stuff
are
that
people
we
that
like.
gave me stuff, and as an entertainer's actor. And then you said what was the Slap Bros or whatever?
Yeah, Slap Mechanics.
Slap Mechanics. They all gave me stuff.
Yeah,
and gave me a good amount of stuff to where I knew what I was getting from them. And then when I went home and tried it, like I got 3 joints from them and some of their drinks from Slap Mechanics.
Yeah.
The motherfucking slap.
Nah, bro, don't get me wrong. You fucking with a connoisseur, and when I go to these events, I like to go ahead and see what they got.
Yeah, I want to get a little bit of everything.
Because man. You guys gotta follow it, man. It's really going on in Washington State, man. Our culture, our cannabis culture, is popping, man. And that's what I do this for, man. And I love having cats like this that interacts and take his craft to the culture and interact with the culture. You know what I'm saying? Because you could just be telling jokes and doing your thing, but you interact with the culture, bro. That's big, bro.
Man,
that's big.
There's another.
That's big,
There's
bro.
another podcast I did with that we do dabs with the guy, right?
Yeah.
And we did 10 questions and 10 dabs.
Yeah.
And I did all 10 questions.
Fuck that, man. Give a shout out, man. Go ahead, man. That's my brother, man. I already know, man.
I can't think of the podcast name, but it's 2 white dudes. They're cool as hell. You do dabs. You say
I thought you were talking about on Scotty Mac, the roast.
No. This is somebody else.
Okay.
And so I did.
Shout outs to the dab roast, man.
Shout out to the dab roast.
Boy.
And Redman Scott. Scott, happy belated birthday, Scott. We love you, buddy. But
this was a different
joint. This is a different podcast. And it's actual podcast.
Okay.
And I just happened to see them. They were on YouTube, or not YouTube, but Facebook. And I was like, hey, I want to come on your podcast. And, we know who you are. And like we do 10 dabs. And then you take questions after each dab, right? We got to like question 9 or 10. And dude was like, you ain't gonna take no more. Nah, nigga, I signed up. Shit, right? But that's the difference. Is like I smoke, I blow. I've been smoking for 27, 26 years.
Yeah.
So this ain't like I'm not the guy that's trying to, smoke to be part of the scene. I'm not the guy that's trying to, be seen or be happy or using some sort of smoking to my advantage to get anywhere. Like I get high.
All day long.
So
all day long. And love the best.
I've grown, I've sold, I've distributed.
Yeah. Shout outs to Noble Farms. That is my family over there. My
Noble
friends.
Farms in the house.
Salute to Noble Farms. Opportunity givers, man. You know what I'm saying? True to this culture, man. Had to give you one, man, because you guys been good to your guy over here, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep it moving, man. Because there's a lot of great farms, man, in this industry, man. A lot of great farms. There's a lot of boo-boo, but there's a lot of, but there's a lot of great farms and a lot of good growers out here, man.
It's funny you say that because there's people everywhere that grow weed. There's people everywhere that want to be successful.
Yeah.
But there's only a few people that love what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's what it takes, man.
And the people that we see and we've shouted out to, and even some of the ones we haven't, when you taste their product, you see them, they love it. They're like, hey, I want you to try this. I want you to know it's good. But I don't want you to see my comedy because I think I'm the shit. I mean, I do think I'm the shit, but I want you to see my comedy because I think I can make you laugh.
Exactly.
Right? It's not so much the ego trip if I'm good, it's that I know I can make you laugh. And there's that fine line of people who have the ego trip of being good versus the satisfaction of knowing they're giving a good product.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, man. That's
And
what
in
it's
this
about.
industry, when you find the people that are more happy with just having a good product or loving the idea of you enjoying their product, you find you get a better product from
Yeah, yeah. And I think that, you know what I'm saying, you got to be the person that's going to tell the truth and be honest and talk about the good. That's all we doing, man. Because we smoke, we OGs, man. Speaking for myself, I've been smoking this cannabis thing for a long time, man. I done got accustomed to good products. So, man, I figure, man, good product is what it is, man. But we're going to go ahead and take a break, one more
pay the
break,
bills.
man.
You gotta
Pay
pay the
these
bills.
bills, man. And yeah, man, we here with SuitMan, man, and yeah, man, we having a great time, man, over at Cushmart South, man. Yeah, man, y'all stay tuned, man. Your boy T Simmons. Yeah.
I don't mean no disrespect, but no way. I can't listen to you. I
Yo,
use my own.
how y'all doing? Y'all get enough of me yet?
All right, y'all, we back, man, and we over here with SuitMan over at the Black Table, and we live over here. I say live. This might be like about 2 days from now, but we
We in the ice bowl. Remember when you woke up and your car was covered in ice? That was the craziest fucking shit this morning.
Yeah, that shit was really
Like,
crazy.
nigga, I have never in my life in Seattle had my whole car, not part, you know what I mean? Like the whole fucking car covered in about a
Nice.
quarter to a half an inch ice.
Yeah.
And luckily, I got remote start, so the motherfucker ran for 5-10 minutes while I finished getting dressed. So I came out; it was easy to get out. It took me 3 minutes to get out the house.
But still had a little bit of something
Oh,
on it.
it still got it now. Like the whole back doors and all that shit's still covered, right? But nigga, to have your handle covered in ice, that's some Midwest shit. This ain't Minnesota. That's bullshit.
Nah, it been hot out, man. I mean, it been cold. I'm trying to get shit right, man.
Everybody in here laughing at me. They're like, yeah, it's colder than motherfucker
It's
outside.
cold as a
That's
motherfucker.
bullshit. You know when white people say it's cold?
It's cold.
Yeah, because white people go outside in 45-degree weather with shorts and shit. Talking about, hey, honey, let's barbecue.
Yeah. Dude just left out here in the shorts and the tank top.
It's 15 fucking degrees. White people are like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. Plenty ice on the car, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, it was cold as a
Hey, take your cup outside, break off a couple icicles, and pour your whiskey in it. You'll be all right.
Have a nice cold whiskey.
Jesus
whiskey on the
Christ.
rocks.
Jesus
For real,
Christ.
for real.
It's funny because like I love this time of year. I didn't participate this year just because I had my mood, but I wish I would love to go
Have
Carolyn
a good one, brother.
year. Like get 4 brothers together, go sing Silent Night like boys. Silent. Like motherfuckers don't know I sing.
Yeah, over here singing. What was that? What was you singing?
I
earlier?
see
Here we go. Oh, Louis.
Red roses too. Everybody's like, the light skinned dude can sing. Louis, that don't sing. He might be part black. I believe it now. Shit.
Louis Armstrong's OG, man.
I
Not
did
too many
that shit.
people can do
And I
that.
did karaoke in the Central District. The black people like, you are black. I believe you now. I was like, y'all ain't shit for that. You know what I mean? We seen the S girl and thought maybe could be Puerto Rican, but the way you sing Louis, we drafted
we
you.
know
We'll take
one
you.
of us, man.
Yeah, we'll
We
take
know.
you and Tiger. I mean, Tiger ain't played golf right in a couple of years. But now that he's divorced and got a drug problem, he's definitely you know what I mean?
Come on, Tiger.
He hit all the marks now. He's a nigga. Yeah, he went through a divorce, cheated on his old lady. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, now he's back here. He's claiming them. He's claiming them now.
Yeah, nobody else wants him. Yeah, you can have him.
Actually, he claiming us because ain't nobody wanting him.
Ain't that about a bitch?
Yeah.
But by the way, I'm SuitMan. Some of y'all might recognize his voice. If you watch YouTube and you watch The Cut, I'm on like 40 cut videos.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that really has kind of propelled who I am. I don't use it as much. I'm not advertising it as a comedian. It's not like my go-to to get draws, right? But when I go around the country, especially the city, people know me from Cut. You're the Black Seth Rogen guy. Yeah. Then you know what's the fucked up part? He doesn't turn 41 until April.
Who, Seth?
Yeah, so I'm
Oh,
4 months older.
So you big
Yeah,
bro.
Seth's the white suit man. That's my stance on everything.
Have a good one. Yeah. Oh, Seth Rogen's up. Yeah. He's a cold dude. That's my guy.
Cold. The best part about him is like we're kind of the same.
Yeah.
We're these goofy characters that I can see, if we get mad or when he's playing his weird roles, you're like, he could be kind of creepy. Same with me, right? So, same idea. I had that epiphany yesterday. I posted, I said, my awkwardness and weirdness can be translated as creepy and dangerous. Right? Because, I'm 6'2", a big black guy, right? Everybody's scared of us now, right? And so, I'm trying to be nice. You need a ride home. No, I've got an Uber coming. Leave me alone. Like, I'm not being a predator, bitch. I'm just trying to help,
Grabbing purses.
Right? Like, oh, no. I'm going to have my friend walk me to my car. Bitch, I'm parked right next to your friend. It don't matter. Like, we're still walking the same distance. I've got my own car. Why do I? Never mind. But I digress. It's funny that for me, I've been, I said I do the podcast, Autistic Artist, and Dating with Disabilities. I didn't say Dating with Disabilities, it went off the train, but my second one is Dating with Disabilities. And I love that podcast because...
That's yours?
Yeah, it's mine.
Go.
So half of us are in the U.S. Well, 3 out of the 4 of us are in the U.S. The other one's in the U.K. Half our guests are from all over the world, right? But we're all disabled in some way.
Yeah.
And the best part is a lot of us have what I would call hidden disabilities. Because if you can't visibly see that I'm disabled, a lot of people think you're normal. Yeah. I call you fuckers normies. Like, I'm tired of you normies. You know what I mean? Like, we're the specials, whatever. You fuckers are normies, right?
So that's the person who get it twisted.
Right.
Get it twisted.
The regular people are normies. That's the regular people, right?
Oh,
he's like, oh, fuck. Yeah, that's you. He's like, you got a name for us? Yeah. Normies, nigga. Fuck y'all normies, right?
Man, I don't know about that.
He don't like that. He said, I don't like that shit.
That sounds too political.
I don't like being special either.
Correct.
You can't call me retarded, but I can call you normie.
I would. Nah.
That's one
because
of my
you
jokes.
Keep it 100.
If I could say the N word, I could say the R word, right?
Yeah, because because I don't really like that, man. Where people try to dictate what you say and how you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I understand.
I agree and disagree. I agree that you can call anything that you identify as, you can talk about that. But if you don't identify as what you're talking about, then shut the fuck up.
Real talk. If you don't know nothing about it, if you can't identify,
know nothing about it. If
you got to identify with it.
If you're not gay, then don't talk about gay people. If
you're
not black, don't talk about black people. That's an easy way to avoid getting in trouble. Guess what? If you don't have a vagina, probably shouldn't talk bad about women. Not saying you can't talk about a situation, but I'm talking about
that person.
That blanket statement.
Yeah. Disrespect.
Right?
Disrespect.
That's where you get into the racism, the sexism.
Yeah. The disrespect of anything.
You don't talk about things that you're not involved in.
Real talk.
If you avoid that, right, then you don't really get in trouble. But I do this for Dating with Disabilities, and I've been editing it for radio, and I've been listening back on the content. And it's one thing to record this and for us to say this in a conversation. It's another thing to when you listen back, you got to listen to it, you're like, that's actually pretty good. You know where it goes, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I love Dating with Disabilities is we're going to have a virgin. The guy who's like 26 and a virgin and autistic.
Oh, really?
And there's no problems with being a virgin, right?
No.
And the other guy, he was my age from New York. We look like we could be cousins. He just was raised with a dad who didn't make him go to school and homeschooled him and let him grow on his own. And I went through chaos, right? So I've learned how to mask and kind of survive. But when I get home, we're the same person, right?
Yeah.
And he publicly said on radio he lost his virginity to a prostitute. Had no problem saying it. And is okay with transactional sex. He prefers it that way. And then he got smart and was like, I'm not the one with 5 kids and 2 babies' mamas, huh? And I said, fool! You throwing jabs now, motherfucker. We can fight. But he had a point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. To each his own. I figure if that's what you...
But it's not to each his own. It's just being honest. Like, what is the point of conquering women? What is the point of all these sexual partners? What is the point of all these parties? What is the point of all these things? it's something socially that you believed and been told or somewhere ingrained that you thought was great.
Yeah, no, not the multiple.
No,
But
but you
if
get what
you,
I'm saying. But you know what I mean. And so, but to even talk about this isn't something that we have to digest now. It's the idea that I'm getting these conversations.
yeah. That's big. That's big.
That's
That's big.
you know what I mean. Getting
That's big.
having.
That's big. That's
Who's
big.
having them? Who's talking about it? Who's getting
Nah.
the guy on the phone who's 6'8", an assistant coach, runs 2 professional, semi-professional basketball teams, coaches a whole bunch of guys that are getting laid every day, going overseas, plays basketball, right? Obviously, he probably could, and
Yeah.
hasn't, and don't, and has no interest. Who's talking to that guy? Not only talking to him, but getting him to explain why, the whys, the whats, the wheres. And then not only that, but for everybody who's having these kids, because everybody's getting diagnosed these days, now we're giving them something to watch. Your son will be okay.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah.
Your son could end up like me and being thinking that he needs to have sex to be a successful adult, and that's what he got brainwashed into. Or he could not. He could make it the rest of his life and not even care.
True.
And there's everything in between.
True.
Right? And not everybody's going to be that kid that you can tell he's autistic, but wants to get laid, and there's an issue. There are those. Don't get me wrong. There are those that are totally inappropriate because they don't know any better, but they have these urges. There are those too, right? But those are the only ones we talk about,
Yeah.
right? Those are the only ones we know about. That's the poster of autism, is the guy who can't socially function but wants to talk about getting laid. That's the kid we remember from school, the guy that said penises and vaginas was a creep. That's what we think of when we think of autism, when we think of, mental health. And so to have the conversation, and not only have the conversation, but to have fun with it.
Real talk. Real
Like
talk.
we did a whole episode about sex toys.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I'm approved. I got 3 positions: top, bottom, back. That's it. And if it's your birthday, we might go 69. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Outside of that, I don't want a friend in the room. I don't want no whips. I don't want no chains. We don't need no toys.
Nah, we don't need no
Don't put your hands below my balls.
Nah,
Right,
don't
like
need
that.
none of that extra shit.
Right? But I don't even watch porn. I've never been to a strip club. Like I went to the spa and saw some titties at the all naked spa. That's the first time I saw some naked titties that I wasn't fucking in years.
Oh, you ain't never been to this joint? Oh, you ain't never seen a stripper?
I don't want to.
Understandable.
There's no
no desire to see.
She shows
see her.
everybody her titties. Woohoo! Great.
So you don't even want to see her spin around on the pole and work her way down and bring chicken and nothing.
That sounds. What's the word?
I'm
That sounds nasty. That doesn't sound. That doesn't sound. I need to sterilize some shit. That doesn't sound safe. I'm not eating that chicken. I don't want to put it down. No, like
He said, I ain't even with that shit.
Did you not see my face is going blank? You smiling, and the more he starts smiling and whipping his fingers, the more I was. Oh no! I think I lost my appetite. You take those wings back. No, thank you. I'm not doing
Some of those spots be not. Some of them be all right though. I ain't gonna front. I haven't been to a strip joint in a few
like
years.
6 weeks. You know what I mean?
Nah. In a minute. It's been about a year and a half. About a year and a half. My brother run one.
How you done cocaine? About a year.
Nah.
Yeah. Those usually go hand in hand.
Nah, we can't fuck around with
I'm
that.
just joking.
No.
It's just the way you said it. Like it's an addiction.
No, the reason I say that because because my brother runs a strip joint out here in Seattle, and he's there every day, and I got partners that really fuck with it. They, you know what I'm saying?
How do you go to a strip joint every day?
He worked there, and like.
No, but you said his partner.
No. I said my partner. My partner, he worked there.
Okay.
And he's he's there every day. He's there every day or every other day, work day.
No, I talked about that, like growing up autistic.
But there's a lot of people grow up there and go there every day.
I was just going to go there. So growing up autistic, and Asperger's feeling different. A lot of most of my sexual interactions, most people would have never guessed happened because I don't have any game. I'm not the type to talk to a girl in public. I'm not the type to walk up and hit a girl and everybody be like, "Ooh, he got her number." I can't do any of that shit, right? I'm the type that everybody be like, "You know, you're supposed to hit on that girl." They're like, "Nope, I had no clue. I was just trying not to fucking get a hard on in public." You know what I mean? Like, I felt her rub my elbow. My dick started getting excited, so I walked across the room and tried to calm down. Like that's me, right? So for me, it's different. Like I don't look at. I guess I just it's not something like we joke. My buddy jokes about. You know, he used to jack off to the J.C. Penney's catalog.
Oh, that's too
Yeah,
much.
that was
That's
the one.
serious.
The Bon Marché catalog.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when they had the black girl with the bigger boobs, because there's always one black girl who had a nice. All the white girls had the little minis. Black girl had a big bra, right?
Yeah,
Anyways, I'm telling on myself now. But that's about as dark as it got for me, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I guess for me, like, it's the same with like The Simpsons versus South Park and all that. I watched The Simpsons. That's as dark as it ever got. I never got into Family Dad or Family Guy or American Dad, especially not South Park. I guess there's just a level of what was too far when we were kids or I was growing up, and then just stuck.
Yeah.
And then for me, socially, like I can remember when I was younger, guys were like, "You watch this porn?" I'd be like, "You want to talk to another guy and get together and watch something sexual together?"
Nah.
That sounds okay. That sounds
Yeah. That's
but
to watch it with the homies. To watch, just sit back,
even
watch.
sharing it together and talking about no,
Nah,
like,
you can't do that.
but those are the things I interacted or encountered or noticed, and just for me, it just was a real.
Yeah, and I can see. Yeah. As a teenager, you probably like did that. You know what I'm saying? As far as the homies come through with a little dirty magazine or element, you know, young
But
cat.
that's what I'm saying as youth, the way it was not even just displayed, but then you know I got 4 daughters. You know, my mom was an alcoholic and not fast. The idea of objectifying women is very hard.
Yeah.
And when we think about that, you know, sometimes they're not objectifying. Great, cool. There's a product for everybody. 15% of the people will never come in this store just because they hate weed. That's fine.
Yeah.
Right? No, some people will never watch this podcast. It's never for them, right? That's fine. But for the people it is, let's give them the best version of it. And I hope
Amen.
that's what you're getting. But just for me, it's just like,
Oh man, we having a great time, man. Look where we at. We're breaking grounds while we sitting here chopping it up, and we're really breaking grounds because we're in a cannabis shop. Cushmore
South Everett.
Yeah.
With product everywhere. We got people listening and eavesdropping as they come in and out.
And check this out though. But what we're doing is having a podcast, a sit down discussion about real things, right? You're a comedian, and you brought a lot of the funny, right? But you brought a lot of real conversation to the table, right? And we're in prohibition right now.
I think I look at it like this. You got to bring the real with the funny.
Yeah, no.
I think the funniest is the real, like
because you got to break the ice. You got to first. You got to catch the person. You catch your ear first with your humor, right? I'm gonna just tell you what it did with me. Your humor brought the interest, right? And then the smoking, just your personality and all that, right? Now, sitting at the table and getting to know you as a person, a man, but outside the suit, right? Is dope, bro. I'm gonna just tell you. I don't know. I'm just telling you because I see. I don't know, man. And I haven't even smoked yet.
There's layers, you know.
That's it right there.
And we haven't even talked like my old music industry background. I used to run with Nima, who's one of the hottest rappers around here. We used to get Waldo's every fucking Friday.
Oh yeah,
down.
back in the day.
Unexpected arrival. Yeah, that was me, the big light skinned guy with the
Yeah,
curls.
I know, brother. I used to go.
That was me.
Back when Waldo.
Yeah, back when Waldo's was
now it's
me,
the Red
Fresh,
Room and shit.
Nima, J Bones, DJ. What's my buddy's name? Scott. His name's Scott, but I can't think of what his DJ name is. But yeah, we ran that every week.
Yeah.
And, right. And I was there. But I've been through a lot. I've been through all different channels. I went to an all-black college. I had an academic scholarship. I have a master's degree now. I taught for a while. I've been in life insurance. I've been a banker. I'm an entrepreneur. I've done modeling. I've done a little bit of everything. And I said all this. I say all this to say this. Said all that to say this is that I needed all those experiences to be able to mold and be the guy that can talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
needed all those experiences to sit down and be able to have dynamic conversations that hurt, but I could laugh at.
Yeah.
Like I wrote a poem the other day to my friend because he was like, you should be a poet. You should, your words are like poetry. I was like, oh, I know. And then I wrote, and I got to read this to you because it's pretty good. It's this little sonnet. It's just a couple of lines. But I wrote to him. I said, the pain and sorrow behind my words can make an onion cry. Because no matter your toughness, there is no reason for why.
No. You wrote that?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Nah. I see.
And
I see.
what I'm saying there is, if I told you what I went through, it would make anybody cry. No matter how tough you are, if you understood what I went through, you wouldn't understand why.
Yeah. I get it.
And if you know it, if you know me, there are no truer words that could be said about me. And I think that's the animal. I think the great spiritual. I think I'll kind of wrap it on this, but I remember my mom died, and I was first going through my divorce. I was homeless. And I finally got a job. And I finally got a place to live, and I was working at this restaurant one day. And then it was right as I was selling out Columbia City Theater for the first time, and I'm sitting there and I'm having a drink, Starcraft.
Yeah.
It's just a random night. I'm sitting there by myself, and this guy comes in, and we're having a good time shooting shit. So he buys my food. That homophobic part of it that you don't understand how you're not used to that in black man.
Yeah, that somebody could be cool like that, and that generosity.
We got to break that. We got to break that rule as well, right? But
keep it easy, brother.
He's
You
sitting
too,
there,
boss.
he's talking to us, and he's like, let me tell you a secret. It takes great pain to achieve greatness.
Yeah.
There's nobody who ever achieved greatness. I don't care if you think about Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, all these guys, there's somewhere something that broke in them. They say Dave Chappelle was a rich kid, whatever he dealt with. There's something that broke in these people that made them a fanatic or gave them something to work on or gave them something that resonated with people.
Yeah.
The guy looked at me and he said, I just got a contract with Boeing and I'm making more money than I'll ever make in my life. And I was just diagnosed with cancer and I had 3 months.
That's serious.
Don't say anything to the guy's coming back. Right. That's just, right?
Yeah, that's serious.
But at the same point, right, there's a lot of truth in what he said. Whether right or wrong, the pain and the sorrow that you go through, bad experiences, those things that harden you, soften you, or even give you empathy, those are the things that really take you that extra mile. Those are the things that get me not followers, but believers. There are people that follow you, and then there's people that
believe in you. And those are the ones you want to deal with.
Right? And you can get, my brand is SuitMan, but people get it. They get what it means. They get what it means for a brother to be in a suit and get treated differently just because the clothes is let alone to be able to back it up with personality and be funny.
Oh yeah, that's the plus though.
Right? But how many people do we know that are that shell, that are just that pretty face, right? That, like you said, you don't expect the depth of character from him. Okay, he's funny. Oh, he's cool. Damn, he's funny, cool, and some character, and some depth, and some growth. Fuck, God, I got to root for this guy.
Oh, you got to.
Right, but that's the fun, right? And so that's kind of what I'm working on. I can always be a better person. I'm working on that daily. I'm working on through my demons to my kids, but I'm working and telling my story and making sure that people know it's okay to be awkward, weird, and black.
Dope. Oh man, we're gonna end it on that note right there,
That's
man.
a great way to end it.
We're gonna end it on that note right there, man.
You can find me SuitMan206 on IG, SuitMan Productions anywhere else, and my website is SuitManComedy.com. You can always find out. I always got a show going once a month online, and a podcast online, and a local show in Seattle. Thank you for tuning in. Stems TV, baby.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you for coming, bro, and taking the time out and doing this joint, man. We're gonna wrap it on up, man. We over here at Cushmore South, man, and today was a real good day, man. So you guys go ahead and check me out over there on that IG, man, on that Stems_TV, man. just all that social media, man. And we gonna get you this podcast, man. We had a great time with you, Suit, man.
Thank you,
For
sir.
real, bro. And yeah, we gonna end it like that, man. It's your boy T Simmons, man, and this is Stims TV. Let's Smoke on the podcast. When we put it in the air where it's fair, and we do it like that there.
You know disrespect, but no way. I can't listen to you, I do this my own way. This is not a game, no, I don't play. And you wasn't game before, so now it's no way. No way.